Right, Kevin, what's the crack? You alright?
I'm doing fine, Daniel.
Good,
How's
good.
Yourself, okay?
Not too bad, thanks for dropping by. And thanks for always, as always, you're always promoting my businesses, you know, coming up, dropping outside the excursions, chill box, all those sort of things, you know, and product placement as well. Product placement.
I've been to 2 of the chill boxes today.
Yeah.
The videos are on the channel soon, yes.
And an honest question, have you had a drink there?
I've honestly not had a drink yet,
Right, okay.
because I've been working, so I've been avoiding the alcohol during the day. I should have got the non-alcohol one actually.
And one of the coffees, try the coffee?
Yeah.
So, do you like coffee?
Say, I'm not a big coffee and tea drinker.
Right.
I would take the vodka one probably, but I've tried to cut down on vodka over the past year or two, just drinking beers. But yeah, I mentioned earlier on, I met some of the viewers who were actually sitting outside the chill box.
Yeah.
So I had a live review and they said they enjoyed it.
Ah, that's good. That's what I like to hear.
It was good.
I mean, overall, we are, you know, I don't want to go on about this is about chatting to you, but it's been doing well and we've got good feedback, we've got good star rating, people are happy, it's good, you know, it's important that where we're going with that, we're creating a brand, you know what I mean? It's a brand and some I want to expand across other islands and different places.
Definitely.
So it is the future. But more about you, let's forget about Chillbox and Tenerife First Excursions. And Kevin, who I remember, you know, thinking back to when I first met you, and you were starting off the YouTube channel. You were the first YouTube video I came across. You did a review of the MacMaster. You were doing reviews of channels.
Yes.
You did a review of the MacMaster channel. You did a review of the Night Striders channel. I think maybe you did a review of mine. I can't remember, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I had very little viewers at the time, so it was like. I think it was Lee and the Night Strider, and that's kind of where you started. Yeah,
I started off just walking videos, but not speaking, music in the background, not showing my face. I've done a couple of wee reviews of other Tenerife channels, and then I just kind of built it up. You know, after a couple of months, I quickly worked out the way the channel had to go, really. So that's how it all started in Tenerife.
But the funny thing is, like, because I remember when those videos came up, Lee was saying, there's some fella making reviews of my channel. See this guy. And then I think we got chatting then, and you came over to Tenerife and we went for a coffee across from my Pueblo Canario shop.
That's right, yeah.
And I was chatting to you saying, you need to get your face in the camera, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I think I pushed your channel at one stage on the lives.
You did.
And then you've just like, before you were like, then once you started putting yourself in front of the camera and started being involved with it, I just seen your channel just then took off, and you're really, I think, not just that, like it's just putting your face, you put a lot of hard work. You're putting how many videos out a day? 1, 2?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm in Tenerife, normally I'm trying to get 3 videos out per day.
Some serious work.
Which is pretty hard. But yeah, I just quickly identified what worked. I've made some mistakes along the way, obviously, and I'm still learning a lot of stuff. I mean, this tech setup you've got here is well beyond my skill set.
It's not there yet, it's only in the process.
Yeah, I've just got that phone there, that's when I started the channel on.
Wow.
Samsung Galaxy A12, worth about £90 I think now. And it can still do daytime videos, but it can't handle night videos, right? It can still do daytime videos, but all the videos are on that or the Pocket Osmo now.
Well, I tell you what, I just realised now you're talking about all the tech and everything like that, and I got it set up. I made my first rookie mistake, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to fix that right now. So just hold on there. You're going to have a cut. It's going to cut straight to me coming back. So just give me 1 second. And there you go, guys. We're back. So I'm interested to see now, because initially I didn't put the light on, and I'm interested to see what the difference between the two when I put the video out. But yeah, I'm learning this. Like one of the things. So when this whole, you know, it's kind of a whole movement. You could say it's a movement, isn't it? That started off from Lee, the MacMaster.
Yeah.
You know, he kicked it off here in Tenerife, and then a lot of channels started up. There was channels already started, but they kind of, once Lee kind of pushed it on, it gave light to the whole vlogging thing in Tenerife. And then everyone was kind of trying to figure out what they were going to do, and some people were similar to his channel, some people were similar but changed it slightly, some people, you know, and everyone had a different spin on it. And for me, it was like, I was like, you know, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, whether it was, you know, putting out positive messages or doing that. A lot of mine was like raising money for charity and stuff like that. Because obviously I was getting a lot of limelight from my businesses. And now I've kind of decided I want to come back to it, and this is why I've set this set up, because I enjoy chatting to people. I enjoy conversation. I enjoy learning stuff. I enjoy listening to podcasts. And it's also easier for me to sit down and have a conversation with someone and you know, find out stuff and learn stuff or not learn stuff or you know, whatever it is. So this is why I've got this tech. It's not where I want it. Yeah, I've got mics and everything bought in to start the process, but I'm waiting on different pieces of equipment that I've ordered. But you know, and obviously everyone kind of has similar equipment, but different in many cases. Like some people have this DJI Osmo, and some people use phones, some people use this and that, and you know, I've seen the different channels grow, and you know, hats off to you. You've made it your business, really. I would say. Yeah,
I've been doing it last 3 years really. Started really kind of lockdown, like a lot of people started doing that, and I've just been really trying to keep it going every month. It's quite stressful because you don't know how the videos are going to perform. And the interesting thing is the Tenerife videos don't do as well now as they used to. Right. That's maybe not a bad thing because I go other places now. So people maybe watch city break videos or not maybe interested in Tenerife and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think what I've done the last kind of year is rather than just be obsessed with building up subscriber numbers and going to the same places all the time. I mean, the channel would get more views if I basically went to Tenerife, Lanzarote and Benidorm every month. Just those 3 places, nowhere else. But at the same point, I'm only doing this maybe for a short time. I don't know how long I'll be doing it. I want to see as many countries in Europe and beyond that I can possibly do. I was in Vegas as well. That was something a bit different. So it's not always about revenue and subscriber numbers. It's about having a wee bit of enjoyment doing the job. Because sometimes it was interesting when I seen you talking to Lee, the MacMaster. I really identified with it. But he said is you're not capturing the moment when you're working and doing videos.
Yeah.
And I miss just coming to Tenerife and having a holiday because you can't really, because I know that I have to do the videos. Do you know what I mean?
And you're pushing out these videos, and you're probably in the back of your head thinking, well, what videos am I going to do? And like, do you pre-plan? So before you're coming here, do you say, right, on Wednesday I'm going to do this, and this. On Thursday I'm going to do this, and this. Or is it like you get up in the morning and say, right, I'm off?
Yeah, I normally, to a certain extent, pre-plan it. I'll try and show you this wee list here, right? My money here. This is a wee
pockets stuffed full of money.
Now this is a top secret. Top secrets. I can't show you this.
Can't show it, right, okay.
So basically, that is a video ideas and titles. So I roughly plan where I'm going. There's some exclusive insider secrets here, so I can't show you.
I'm not telling you, I'm not saying nothing, it's top secret.
So basically, what I should do is plan a map route. So today I was coming from Las Americas and Los Cristianos, so from. So basically, I'll try and work out a 10-minute video, stop, keep walking, next 10-minute video, then I'll go to the side, up a different street. I try and show all the different streets and the resorts. Try and not focus in the one place all the time, because firstly, I'll find that pretty boring, and so will the viewers, if you're just seeing the same places. And I've done all the videos really I can in Tenerife. I do like up the north as well, Porto de la Cruz, but those
Porto de la Cruz.
Yeah.
Love Santa Cruz as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's really like, it's got a very traditional feel to it, Santa. Like more, you feel like you're more in Spain. Yeah. When you're down here could be a lot of countries in the world.
It could be, you know, I mean, I'm honest about that as well, do you know what I mean? I just say that I roughly know what works on the channel, what videos get the most views, etc. But the bottom line, my channel's a bit different than other people's channels. I think for me, it's just a numbers game. I just have to do as many videos as I possibly can, and then move on to the next month and worry about next month. You know, as being self-employed, you always get that fear habit.
Got the pressure, and YouTube, like what people don't realise, YouTube's very clever. It's got an algorithm that if you stop putting out the videos, all of a sudden they're going to stop pushing your videos. So they've like, part of you kind of the impression of I'm self-employed, but you're actually kind of employed by YouTube,
100%.
Because if you don't drive those videos out, YouTube will punish you and they'll start pushing your older videos out. And what I noticed from looking at like the likes of yourself, Lee, Andrew, and anyone who's walking with me, Tim, fantastic. He's really blown his channel. Amazing guy. And when you see how if they stop putting videos out, I've seen when Lee took a break, all of a sudden the revenue just dives. Yeah. Because they're not pushing the older videos. Like you could have 100 videos and people are watching back. Yeah. So all that clicks up to a revenue every month. Like And if you don't constantly, like I see it, like if I don't put out videos, all of a sudden my subscribers start dropping. Like they start dropping. Like well, mine go down more than up. But because I haven't bothered with the channel, and I know that means like. I know from you guys, you have to put the effort in and keep putting the videos out. Otherwise you're gonna be punished by YouTube. So it is a very clever algorithm, like.
Without a doubt, what forces you to do videos, unless you've got a channel with very specific evergreen content. Let's say you've got a video on how to tie a tie. That's evergreen.
Yeah.
You'd watch that 10 years, it's still the same video.
I have one that keeps being viewed, and that's the one on how to use I get regular messages on it. That pop up on my phone is how to use the bus at the airport.
Aye.
And it's mad myself and Daz. We did that one, and it was like that regularly gets. Oh, thanks very much. I owe you a pint.
Because that's always going to be relevant, isn't it? So it's really hard because I find that probably Lee thinks this as well. Travel related videos are very current.
Yeah.
So I'll upload a video on Tenerife. I'll know within 2 hours if it's going to do well or not, and then the next 3 or 4 days. Usually it'll get to a point where the views will just stop. They'll trickle in a wee bit, and I've still got some videos. That's why on the channel I've got over 3,000 videos, because
amazing.
If I can't do videos, and I've had a couple of cases where I've not been able to do videos for a few weeks, the revenue plummets, but there's still a certain amount of revenue because of the old videos. And I'm trying to build a back catalogue of so many different places. So it's a long-term plan rather than short-term, really. And
do you set up playlists then for those different places?
Yeah.
So you'll have like a Tenerife 2024 playlist.
Exactly.
You know, whatever, that when someone keep getting thrown the videos afterwards,
And I track, the analytics will track how well the videos have done, because it's all about views really, rather than subscribers. I don't really even look at the subs on the playlist. So I'll give you an example, like the Las Vegas videos, done very poorly, but I've done a lot of them. So they've got nearly 300,000 views, which sounds okay, but there was a lot of videos there, and they've just stopped getting views now, and the revenue on those videos, we'd be lucky if it's paid maybe a wee bit more than the trip.
Right,
do you know what I mean? So I can identify that, and then there's certain destinations where I can pinpoint and say, can't go back there, I've lost money in those destinations. Or there's some places that do surprise me. I went to Dublin for the day.
Yeah.
And those videos done well. Belfast again.
Look at the Irish.
Yeah, look at the Irish, That's it. I meet so many people from Ireland here.
But Dublin's a great spot, like, and people, the amount of people that go to Dublin, like, you know, what did you do in Dublin? Did you get a Guinness or?
I filmed in the Temple Bar. A pint at the Temple Bar, €9, right?
Yeah.
Robbed.
Cheap.
Yeah. The Temple Bar put the prices up as I was going.
No, they have timers on their tills. It's mental, isn't it?
That is absolutely
mental. Insane, isn't it?
It's borderline illegal, I thought.
Yeah,
right?
Borderline proper intelligence.
Yeah, it is.
I know, I mean, like, I don't like it either. I remember going up there, you know, a few times and out with mates, and they're literally getting robbed. Or if you're buying around and I don't drink, you're like, what is going on?
That's a lot of money. The funny thing is, see what I've noticed travelling around all these different countries in Europe, especially American tourists. See, when I meet them and I chat to them, they don't think any of the prices. They think the prices are fine because America's so expensive now.
Yeah.
It's like they would not bat an eyelid paying €9 for a Guinness.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's all relevant, isn't it? I'm going to do a video. You just reminded me of an idea that's not on that list.
Right.
I'm going to do a video, right? It's exclusive here. Exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive, guys. I'll have to get it out before you do the video.
Yeah, that's it. Is Tenerife too cheap? Because I was thinking about it, right? You get
People don't say that though. People complain about the price here, but if in comparison, like, because obviously it's gone up from years ago.
Yeah, but I think still. I mean, you can literally sit at the beach. I passed Porto Colón earlier on, Madeki. €1.50 for a beer.
Yeah.
Some of those bars that are overlooking the sea.
Yeah.
Where can you get that? Well, nowhere. But at the same point, thinking of it from a general point of view of staff and stuff like that, how sustainable is that model when you've got a housing crisis here, you've got staff that are struggling to find places, so are the wages going to increase enough? Is Tenerife actually maybe better increasing prices slightly so it's not known as a cheaper destination?
I think it can still be increased slightly and be known as a cheaper destination. And I think it's also would be good if that could be reflected. So as an employer, it's expensive to employ people in comparison to Ireland, for example.
Yeah.
And I don't mean expensive to employ people. I mean it's expensive to put someone on 100% on the books.
Yeah.
And mine are 100% on the books. So if I employ someone and pay someone, say, you know, €1,500 after taxes, that's in the hand. It's different here when you're advertising a job in Ireland. You advertise the full wage.
Yeah.
That includes the tax.
Right.
And people see it when you advertise here. They say, "Oh, that's terrible." It is low, but it's like. But what I'm trying to say is, when you advertise it here, you advertise it in what you get into your bank account. So, but for example, if I pay someone €1,500 a month, my tax bill is 39% of that.
Wow. Yeah. 39%.
39% of that. For retention taxes and social security, 39%. So you can say, to pay someone that money, I have to roughly pay another 600, between 660, 670 on top of that.
Yeah, that's
and and that's one of the problems here is why a lot of people aren't put on proper contracts. Yeah. You know, and they're given, you know, 5-hour contracts and stuff like that. And it's not good for the employees, because if they want to go and rent a property, or they want to get a loan in the bank, or they want to go for a mortgage or whatever it is, what they're getting on their pay slips doesn't reflect what they're getting. So if they change the system to like a percentage base like they have in the UK and in Ireland, where it's like PRSI or PAYE, it's based on how much you earn, then I think everyone will be put on proper contracts, and there'll be more revenue for the government. And now, I'm not trying to change. I live in Spain, so this just to make this clear, because I get slagged on it sometimes when I talk about this. Oh, you're in the country, respect the country. I respect this country and I love this country. I'm just saying that some things can be changed in Ireland, some things can be changed here. And that's one of the things that can be changed here. Like I think that if they did that, you would find that more people would be on proper full contracts. And instead of giving all that money to the government, you give it to employees. And then they spend it anyways and generate revenue. So it's like, you know, so it's like, it's a win-win situation. So it's one of the things I would say that I would say isn't a great thing here on the island when it comes to employing people, and it does make it hard. And I do think if we did increase the cost of things here, like when people come on, I don't mean extortionate. I mean to a certain level, and then you can look after employees better. And you know, I would think that overall you'd have to ask my employees. I do treat my employees quite well, and as best as I can to make the whole business function in the right way.
I think Tenerife, I've been to a lot of places recently. Tenerife's still very, very affordable. I can't think actually anywhere else that's much cheaper than Tenerife. Maybe the Costa del Sol and certain parts of it, more like the Spanish parts, or Torremolinos, stuff like that, can be a bit cheaper. But realistically, the value for money you get here is incredible. There's a lot of competitions, a lot of bars, restaurants, hotels. Hotels can be quite pricey, to be fair. This is actually a good week to come. If you come just a couple of weeks before Christmas, you get some really good deals with flights and hotels. Obviously,
stay here on the island at the moment.
Everybody's waiting to come out, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. Like this, every year I realise that this is the worst time of year for my business. Like it's literally the worst time for sales. It's the worst time for, and I think Chillbox as well is similar clientele that I have to the excursions. I need to find a business that doesn't have the same type of clientele, so they can offset each other. But I think it is a good time to come out because you can get better value in flights. But then if you've got kids and stuff like that, it makes it very hard, or you're in college, or
of course,
you know, to get that time off.
Yeah, tied to those days.
I think if you're, for example, you know, self-employed, or you're working for a company and you're not got kids, then this would be an ideal time because you save a few quid. But I find this a really bad time of the year for a business. I think the peak months for us are June, July, August, and September. Like that's where we.
Oh, is it for the Scotsman?
And for the Chillbox as well. You know, really, that's when we boom. Like, you know.
Because people come in the summer holidays. And you've got a younger clientele for the Chillbox.
I think so.
Because of TikTok.
And I think excursions as well has become a younger clientele. Before it was such a mix, but hugely younger clientele. TikTok has really blown up for us, and the way we do it is we work with a lot of influencers. Like we work with a lot of different influencers from you know, ones that I wouldn't even know who they are, but like the lads would be telling me, like, so I've got a guy called Colin that looks after the social media, and then Matty's obviously the front man on the TikTok, and with that, they know like what's fresh and cool. I wouldn't know. And like that, they're like, oh, do you hear about this guy? And I'm like, never heard of him. Like, and then I look and there's like millions of followers. And, you know, so it's been really good for us in the sense that, you know, the lads know what they're doing. I wouldn't know a lot of these TikTokers. I'm in the YouTube world, which you know, is an older generation because it's a longer format of video, whereas the TikTok's like, you know,
it's different. I looked at TikTok. I'll tell you about TikTok in a minute. I looked at TikTok and I thought the type of videos that I do, walking, talking videos, it can't really relate to TikTok. Can't transfer over really because I think you need a product to sell on TikTok really, and I don't have a product to sell really. I'm just really doing the videos and that, but I have got millions of views on TikTok because somebody has got a wee impersonated account on TikTok.
I'm not the only one. Lee has the same.
And it's like, I'm meeting people sometimes in the videos like, I've seen you on TikTok. I'm like, I'm not on TikTok. I've seen you on TikTok. I'm like, no, that's a guy who's clipping my videos.
I guarantee he's probably doing Lee's as well. It's probably the same guy.
He was doing everybody's. And I'm like, I'm like, no, that's not me. And then they're like, no, it is you. It's definitely you. I'm like, I know it's me. He's clipped the video. He's just took my title. He's even taken the titles as well, right? And I was like, oh, it's quite annoying, right? But I can't really see how it can work for me. I might end up doing an account to test things.
It could bring people to your YouTube channel. That's what it could do. But I don't think it translates as well from if you're coming from someone who's watching TikTok. Isn't really like. I mean, I watch TikTok sometimes, like. But all you end up doing is flicking for ages. Your mind to be melted, like. So I guarantee it really wrecks your attention span. Whereas like, I like long format videos. I like listening to like, I regularly talk about my favorite podcast person is Joe Rogan. Like, I love listening to his stuff. I listen to, you know, I'm walking a lot lately. So like this morning I was for an hour and a half walk and I just listened to Joe for the whole walk.
All right. You know, who did they have on? What guests did they have on?
I'm trying to think who he had on this morning. He had the guy I was listening to. He is a guy he's a hunter as well and a comedian. Right. I can tell you now. I was listening to it and I was very interested in actually talking about firing bows and hunting in the wild and the different scopes and stuff like that. He's been Bert Soren, he is the guy he had on, it's the president and co-founder of Soren Exercise Equipment. He's an athlete and a hunter. And the last one I listened to was a very interesting clinical professor, like a doctor, and he was talking very much about he's translating I think it's the Old Testament from Hebrew. Hebrew, and he was talking about translating it and talking about God and UFOs and all this sort of stuff. It was very interesting. I find it very interesting.
My wife at the moment is watching loads of UFO stuff, and I came in the other day, she had Joe Rogan on. I've never seen her watching Joe Rogan, right? And she was watching that, and I sometimes watch it. I mean, the big thing about Joe Rogan is he's very good at what he does actually, and he Trump on obviously, right, and obviously Kamala Harris made a big mistake not going on.
She should have gone on, but I think she would have been lost.
Yeah, again, it could have had the same outcome. But the fact that obviously Trump went on there really kind of highlighted how big a podcaster is. But if you look at the views on the videos he's got, I mean, I don't even know what his revenue figures are. I mean, he's in Spotify. It's amazing. And he started off obviously doing Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. And he went into the UFC. He did the first 10 UFCs for free.
I've seen that. He was talking to, is it Darren White? I'm not really a big UFC person, but the business side of it interests me. And he was saying how, look, Joe Rogan was like that at the start, we'll do it for nothing, I'll get the best seats in the house, I come and watch it anyway. And now obviously you see his podcast, he's got some interesting guests on as well, but it's quite interesting.
But it's the way he does it. So the thing about Joe that I really like is he's not it doesn't come across an interview. He generally comes across as a guy who's seeking knowledge. You know what I mean? He wants to learn more about life, about what's going on, about what might be happening behind the scenes. I mean, I have to say, the Donald Trump interview for me was probably one of his weakest. I think because Donald, he was kind of a little bit overcome by the fact that this could be the future president. He was a president. And Donald Trump is brilliant at weaving in conversations, you know, going off on this mad tangent and then coming back to the point he originally. And sometimes you can kind of be, you know, I guess charmed by Trump. Trump, for me, like hands down, if I was in America, I would have voted Trump. You know.
So I can understand how he won, and I can understand how people would take to him as well. I think obviously I'm not a big Trump fan, right? I think he's a bit of a maniac, right? Some of the stuff he does is just like, wow. Right?
But I'm going to say to you, give me an example of something that he did that you say that you're calling maniac.
Well, not without getting into all the kind of
just one.
All the stuff obviously he's been accused of, right? It's like hundreds of people have accused him of stuff, right? He's only civilly been prosecuted for like one or two, right? And there's still other things going on. So it's like that to me is a wee bit worrying and concerning, I would say, right? It's a wee bit worrying and concerning. I think obviously from a business point of view, a lot of these businesses have failed, but that doesn't mean obviously he's failed in business, because you're going to have businesses that fail. You know what I mean? So I've got videos that fail, completely fail. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I failed in businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And business that's successful and business that fail. The only thing I say to you is, if you're coming into me today for a job, right, and you're looking for a job and you say, right, Daniel, I'm looking for this job, I say, what experience do you have? And we lost that camera. So if you're coming into me for a job, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to come back in 1 second. I don't know why that turned off, but I said I want to get all the angles, and this is probably one of the best angles, gets the two of us at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess with Trump, as I was saying, like, you know, I don't want to go too deep into politics, but if you're sitting, there is every president that's been in power has some cagey stuff in the background.
No, definitely.
And especially a lot of them are womanizers, and I'm totally against it, just to clarify. And I'm totally against misogynism and all that sort of stuff. But when you look at someone who's going to run the country, you got to look at their history. And that guy ran the country before. He's the only president that didn't go to war. He did a peace treaty in the Middle East, which no other president in history could achieve. And if any other president did that, they would have got a Nobel Peace Prize. But he didn't get it because the press hate him.
Yeah.
They hate him.
Or there's a certain element of the press who definitely hate Trump, like CNN and all that. They definitely hate Trump. It's interesting because I think it would have beat Joe Biden as well, right? But whether you like Trump or you don't like him, he's interesting.
Yeah.
There's no doubt you would watch him. I mean, I watched The Apprentice all the time. I think he was brilliant with that programme.
But look at the people behind him. Look at his team. J.D. Vance, the vice president. Very interesting dude, very intelligent. Listen to him talk, listen to him on Joe Rogan, listen to him on other podcasts. Very, very intelligent guy. And watch him debate people. Highly intellectual. Do you know J.D. Vance?
I know who he is. He did say one thing I did not agree with. He basically was saying that people without children should get less votes than people with children.
Well, that's wrong.
Right?
That's wrong. I can't say he's seen it.
So he was going to indicate that. Well, listen,
that's completely wrong.
If you've got 100 opinions, nobody's going to agree with everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Nobody is going to agree with everything, as I say. But yeah, American politics is it's so different, I think. The weird thing is, Trump, I don't think, would actually win in the UK, because I think we're just a bit different. But in saying that, there's a gap for anybody who basically just plain talks, like Nigel Farage is doing really well just now, right?
But look at Starmer, he's a joke.
Well, Starmer is just good. I mean, I'm traditionally probably what you would call a Labour supporter, right? But to me, like, Starmer just, even when he's speaking, you're just like...
He's lost touch with the people.
Yeah, and now things are going too far the other way as well, do you know what I mean? It's like, so it's just, I think you can get caught up in politics and stuff like that, but generally, when I think about it, most politicians, whoever's in charge in the UK, is not going to affect me too much. But it could, like, when you look at America with the wars and all that, I mean, that kind of stuff is serious.
Well, that's the thing. This is my opinion, and well, if you have something you want to share with me afterwards, we'll no, even on this, but we won't go on too much about politics. For me, one of the things I would say about that, when I look at, I think that when Trump comes in, he will stop the war in Ukraine. And I'm just going to give a simple reason why I think why. It's very simple. It's obviously a more complex situation. What I'm going to say is, I think that when he comes in, he's going to say, right, you guys need to sign a deal with Russia. You need to give away a part of your land.
Yeah.
We're not going to fund you anymore. And we're not going to allow you to be part of NATO, because that's one of the biggest problems that Russia have. And we move on from there, because otherwise, if he doesn't do that, the money keeps going into Ukraine, the war will just continue, and more people will die. And sometimes the best thing is to just say, right, we're going to have to sign some sort of treaty.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's tragic, all this stuff.
So sad, people are dying. Like, you know,
they're going to have to come to some sort of agreement there, definitely, without a doubt. I think that is roughly what will happen.
But what was said in the middle of where Biden says, yeah, you can fire long-range missiles into Russia. I mean, that's insane.
That's dangerous.
That's really insane. That's like, let's start a world war. Like.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I don't want to go on about too much, because it's something that like will divide people. It is interesting for me because it affects us all. If that goes wrong, we've got some serious problems here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the world.
It's even on a war scale. I've done a video talking about the cost of living and that, saying how crazy things have got in the UK. Everything you're paying for, houses, mortgage, rent, council tax, utilities. It's so expensive, but that's got a knock-on effect from the war as well. Prices will way up.
But it's also the money printing. So the government themselves, the American government, to fund war, they need money.
Yeah.
So where do they get the money from? The Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve isn't even publicly owned. It's a privately owned bank. Yeah. That basically they print money, loan it to the American government, and then the American people and the government can't afford to pay it back, so they just pay the interest.
Yeah. And
it's like, and every time money's printed, and I said it to my father during lockdown, it says, watch, we're going to have the highest inflation we've ever had in the history of inflation, because we are printing so much money in lockdown to keep the businesses afloat. And when you print money, it's not that things go up, it's the value of your money goes down.
Yeah.
So if there's more money in circulation, then your money's worth less.
Yeah.
So for example, if I print $1 trillion today, of my own Dan's money, and you've got $100 of Dan's money in your pocket, that $100 is worth way less than it was. Or because I printed more of it, like. So there's more of it in circulation, so yours is devalued.
Are you starting Dan's crypto?
Yeah, we're gonna start.
Is it?
we're gonna start Dan's Tenerife currency. But this is the reality. Like what's the easiest way to tax people in a nation? Print more money.
Yeah.
Because I'm taxing you without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm printing money for myself. So the government are printing money for themselves and for the cronies, and your money's been worth less. And then when you go to buy a house or pay your rent or pay fuel, all of a sudden that money you had in your pocket is worth less. And there we go again. So we're back again.
Back again.
Well, we're not, because it's probably going to switch, but I'll edit it up so it cuts in nicely. And yeah, I mean, for me that's a big thing. Currency is a great way of taxing people. Just print more of it, and then you're taking money out of everyone's pockets without them even noticing. You know what I mean? And that's the sad thing.
Inflation went way up, went crazy, as I say. But I've got a wee video on the channel talking about it. Basically, the background of it is, I've now worked out in the UK, the general average prices, it's probably cheaper to stay in a hotel for a month than it is to buy an average house and pay utilities, council tax and all that.
That's mad.
That's mad, isn't it? How have we got to that situation? And I was talking to my wife about it, and I was saying, I'm going to check the price of a travel lodge for a month to see how much it is. It was like £900 for a month in a travel lodge in Perth or Dundee, right? So kind of cheaper city than Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Do they include food in travel lodge?
No, they don't, no food, but you've got no utilities, all your washing's done for you, right? You've got no...
Oh, they do the washing for you as well?
Yeah, as in, like, you're not changing sheets, you've got house cleaning, right? But that wasn't the kind of point of the video, because I seen somebody in TikTok, they basically were going to buy a flat in Manchester, and they worked out they'd need minimum £2,000 a month to buy the flat, pay the bills, and he's like, I'm going to Turkey, all inclusive, for less than that, for a month. So somebody who's a digital nomad can move about. Because prices have just, as you said, inflation, just everything's gone up. Prices just became so crazy, and I'm just like that. If I was going back and I was younger, I think I would be one of the van life guys. I'd be kicking about doing different stuff. You know what I mean? I can't.
That's what I want to do in the future. Is like just travel.
A camper van, just travel.
That's my goal with businesses. Is like to build them all to a level where I have a certain figure in my head and I have a home here to come back to, and just travel the world, go and see the world, go and see like the likes of Iceland, you know, places like this, and that's kind of my plan for the future. Like I'd love to travel, and it will require a decent amount of money as well. Like one of the things I'd love to do is the icebreakers up to North Pole is like a luxury cruise on an icebreaker where it's like 20-something thousand euro per person.
Wow.
But it's like you're going with the scientists and you're going up up to the North Pole, and this beautiful, has a sauna and all that sort of stuff in it as well. Like so,
sounds interesting.
Yeah, something different. Like, and then I'd like to obviously vlog all that sort of stuff. You know, get into the vlogging of it, and that for me that's what it would be interesting for me is to do that. I guess moving away from that and moving back into the videos and stuff. Like one of the things that I've talked about a lot lately, and is one of the things that used to be the bane of my I hated it in the YouTube was people leaving shitty comments, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know you don't read them anymore.
No, but I've read some. Because I have to figure out how to stop them popping up. They come up on my phone.
Oh, they come up on the phone?
So they come up like because I have a YouTube app on my thing, and it comes up and I get this comment. And I got one the other day where this guy left this big long comment of saying that he said, I'll tell you what, I have it on because I sent it to Lee. I said, have a look at this. And it annoyed me, right? Because I was like, you know, you're literally, so I said, if I'm honest, it's coming across like you don't want to know. Now you got your business booming, new house and car. During and before COVID, you were desperate for support and views and would do anything. It's a shame, really, because it's not a good look coming from you. Looks like you lost your sense of humour and look a bit miserable. But remember, this if it wasn't for the vlogs, comments, the collaborations, etc., you would be don't go down the route of I don't sign autographs now. If you know what I mean. Anyway, all the best. It's not a bad critique. It's an honest one. Yeah, and I'm still following and enjoying your vlogs. So in fairness, that person said,
yeah, at the end, that's
it's a nice finish. But so I replied this and I said, this popped up, so I will answer. It popped up on my phone. I was like, what is this? And I said, this popped up, so I'll answer. At no point was I desperate for support. You know what I mean? I was not desperate for support.
Yeah.
I never begged people to watch my channel.
Yeah.
While I am humble and I really appreciate people watching the channel, I appreciate people coming and saying hello. I certainly am not miserable. I was tired today, but I was tired, and I will never lose my sense of humour. Yes, I'm ungrateful for the support and vlogs and support, but they are not what made me in my life. There are other vloggers with far more subscribers and viewers than me who have not built a business I have from zero. It has been hard work and determination through good and bad times. I came to this island with nothing and worked my ass off. I do owe gratitude to a lot of people on the way, but it was not the vlogs that made my business. It was the hard work and the grace of a higher power. It's easy to form opinions when you watch my life from the outside. It's not a bad reply, but an honest one.
Yeah.
So
that is fair enough, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You know, for me, like, it's like, but it's like I said before. You get a bag of sweets and you have all the nice ones. There's gonna be one rotten one.
Yeah.
And like, in fairness, that wasn't that rotten, but it annoyed me because I was like, yes, part of my business success is to vlogs, but it's not only that.
Not really. If you walk about Tenerife and you see all your offices and your staff and all that, what you've built here, this is really nice in here as well. So yeah, I think you were talked to me about the comments. I think what you quickly learn if you're doing YouTube as well is, especially if you were very vulnerable as well, you're going to have to expect some comments. Firstly, that are weird. Some are pretty nasty.
Yeah.
99% of people are really nice, really supportive. You see the people I meet in the videos, they're all brand new, they're really, really nice. You're going to get 1% at least who will just leave bizarre comments or just like definitely need some sort of help, right? And I think Lee has got the right attitude. He just goes over his head. I know he does videos reading them out and stuff like that as well. I sometimes put them on Facebook, but I think generally,
I've seen you put it on Facebook, and that's one of the reasons why I want to talk to you about it, is that you do put it on Facebook. I don't know about you, but I know I've talked to Lee, and he said it does sometimes affect you. If you're in like a place that, for example, you could be going through a space where there's something going on in your own personal life, you know, family life, whatever it is, and say your videos are not hitting the numbers that you wanted, or you're struggling to get the channel where you need to be, or whatever the part of your life you're struggling, and then some person decides, I'm going to put a nasty comment. That could be the wrong time for you, and it just triggers something inside you that just, you know, can upset you. I know it used to with Lee. I know, because I hung around with him and he'd say, I can't believe that person said that, you know, and he'd get wound up. Now he's obviously got that it's changed, he's realised. But he also said another thing, which I think is, those comments are also, people reply to them because they stir up people as well. So it's like, if you leave them there, it's gonna, that guy deleted that comment not long after I replied to him. Yeah, so fair play to him.
Yeah, I think
he obviously understood where I was coming from.
Yeah, I think probably we're all a wee bit guilty of, sometimes you'll make a comment or say something you maybe regret it later, maybe you weren't in the right space at that time, but I think I've said to a few other guys that do YouTube as well, they're starting up channels, and I've basically said, expect this to happen. You're going to get a lot of hateful comments. Doesn't matter how good your videos or bad they are, you'll get people making ridiculous comments. At the end of the day, the videos are free to watch on YouTube. If you don't like the video or don't agree with it, you can move on, just watch something else.
Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine if Netflix had comments?
Yeah.
Imagine you were on I've started watching the Netflix programme and you're like, that's garbage. There's 1 million other programmes to watch on Netflix, but before I do that, I'm going to leave a comment for Netflix. This is terrible, this series. Shocking. I want my £10 a month back. You just watch another.
Yeah. You just go, that's not for me, and I'm
on to another. So I think it's just, I used to spend hours every day answering loads of comments, and I answer a lot of comments and I love heart them, but I'm still days behind now, especially when I'm in Tenerife. I've got the head down, I'm doing videos, so I very rarely check the comments until I come back.
Do you look at them all?
I generally read every single comment at one point, as in people have made comments a couple of weeks ago and they're like, oh, I've commented, did you not see it? And I'm like, I'm sorry, because the way YouTube works, it just brings up the most recent comments, you know, in the studio.
Yeah.
So you miss sometimes comments. People send an email. I don't check emails. Maybe I check email once a week, twice a week, because you can just get in you can just spend your whole day doing that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? You're a bit batching it, what I do with the videos. Yeah. When I'm here, I do as many videos as I possibly can, and then when I go back to Scotland for a couple of weeks, in theory, a couple of weeks I have off. So I'm only really doing this part time, really. If you actually look at the days I'm away. It feels like full time, right? But it's not.
So on that note, what did you do before?
So I worked in sales jobs. I had a couple of websites. Done a wee bit of e-commerce. I worked in travel years and years ago. I worked for a TV travel shop.
Right. Okay.
So I used to sell the holidays on the TV, and then you'd phone a number up, and it'd be me answering it.
Oh,
so
very good.
Yeah, you like going to Tenerife? Yes, I'll bring you to Tenerife.
Happy days.
Yeah, I've just seen this deal for £99 for this 5-star hotel. And I'm like, okay. I was like, can you go in January the 2nd? No, I need to go in July, school holidays, okay. That's £500 that deal now. So the prices change, you know what I mean? That's the way the kind of company worked. They had a low lead-in price. Yeah. And they did have good deals, but eventually moved on from that. Worked with TUI for a wee while on the phones. Most of my jobs have been sales related jobs.
Similar to me in some
yeah. And then I started the YouTube, and in a way YouTube is still a sales job, because you need to get somebody to click on the title or the thumbnail, and then you need to get them to continue to watch the video. Yeah. So if your videos are okay enough, people watch to the end.
I won't believe what happened next.
Yeah, watch till the end. Watch till the end. That's it. So I've kind of learned that the titles are really important. You'll get people complaining about titles and stuff, but again,
but sure. We talked. Lee were talking. He's the king of clickbait.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. He's very you do clickbait as well. Like, it's part of it. Like, you know. And so, I think a lot of people realise that, and they oh, you got me again. You know what I mean? Like,
do you know I've been doing one recently? This is it's actually the least clickbait title, but it gets the most response, right? Yeah. So if I put a video out tonight and I don't have time to upload it, or I'll upload it the next day, I might put Tenerife, this happened last night. All I'm doing is walking about and showing places. People are expecting a big fight or something.
Yeah, something happened.
Somebody will comment clickbait, and I'm like, well, generally I've delivered on that, because this happened last night. This video, I've not said anything
But it is clickbait in a way.
Yeah, it's curiosity.
Yeah.
If somebody's got to be curious enough, well, okay, I'm going to watch this. But I will say in the video, this might go up tonight, it might go up tomorrow. If I put it up tomorrow, I'll just title it, "This happened last night." So it's just try to find an angle, because I've been round Tenerife, done videos absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to make it a bit more interesting. And even doing a video like this is good, because it's different than my normal videos. Do you know what I mean? As well, it's going on, obviously, you put it on the Bean Dan channel.
Yeah. The MacMaster channel doesn't exist anymore. Just changed the name. Yeah. I just got it has all its ties to the kind of original stuff, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, you know, you've changed and blah blah." No, I'm just being myself, and that's the reality. I don't like a lot of that was having a crack in the camera, which I will do as well. Don't get me wrong, but and I will do the vlogs, and I will start doing some of that stuff again. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying having conversations with people, just chatting and like what we're doing now. It's just be relaxed, talk about the YouTube, talk about what's going on, and I hope to get other people on as well that aren't YouTubers and friends. And one of the things I want to get the setup here right, have a few mates around, have breakfast, just talk, shoot the breeze. That's one of the things I love watching. Love watching when a few lads get together, and you see that's very much like what's it called, Flavor or Flagrant, I think it's called. It's on it's a channel where a group of lads sitting around, they're talking to different people, and they're just getting interested in stuff, and finding out and having a laugh, having a bit of crack. That's one of the favourite things in my life. Is I like going for breakfast or dinner with lads, and we're just having a banter, it's fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're talking about breakfast, that's just reminded me. What about La Therese? You missing your pancakes there?
Oh yeah, but they've got a new one out the front.
Oh, they've got a new one?
Not them, there's a new place out the front which I go to now. It's called Delicious.
Oh, I've seen it. So I've done a video in there the other day. So Tim was speaking to the guy who's took over. La Therese it's in Los Cristianos.
But they're not the same anymore.
Yeah, the guys took over it, so they don't really do cooking and stuff like that, but he's running bridge clubs and that. The guy seems really nice. He was speaking to Tim.
I haven't met him, but we went round to go there, and I was like, it's not what it was. And what a lovely couple as well. And I wish them the best of luck. They're retired, and they were very grateful for you for doing the videos, because I remember they said to me, they showed me the video, and I said, oh, I know that fella.
There's been quite a lot of people in after watching the video, but things move on, don't they? Things change, and at the end of the day, good luck to them when they're retired.
100%. I met them. I was looking to buy a house up in. Myself and Sahara just bought a house. We're moving in a decade. We're moving on the 1st of February.
Nice.
Our first house in Tenerife. Exciting,
Wow.
3-bedroom. But we were looking for a house up in Geoff, and we came across them walking, and we were chatting away, and they looked really happy and relaxed. He wasn't trying to get his pancakes out. He on his own there banging out pancakes like a mad thing. You know what I mean? She would get stressed sometimes, because when we come in, we come in a big group. So it'll be a group of us coming from one of the recovery meetings. On a Saturday, so we'd all go there. Because obviously, I think I'm in recovery, and I'd be very open about being.
I know you're very open about that. Did I tell you I met the pastor one day?
Oh, the pastor in there, did you?
I met one day. I was walking down last Feastus, and he started speaking to me. Obviously, must know me through the videos, and then he was telling me, what he'd done, where he was based, upstairs in a block centre. So he was telling me he was up there. So I met him. I think it's from Scotland, actually.
Possibly.
Was it Scotland or Ireland, maybe?
He's Irish. And so we rent the room off him for the meetings. There's a few health meetings up there. There's a men's health. There's a men's group
I know there's a men's group.
I haven't been to that, but apparently they do great work as well. So the fellowship is quite big here. It's great to see, and there's a lot of the last meeting I was at there was no room in the meeting, which was amazing. So it's great to see people grasping onto this and their lives changing. I'm very blessed to have the life that I have because because of a 12-step program, and I'm genuinely grateful for it. And I guess the other thing while we kind of went on a mad weave there, I did want to ask you something about when we're talking about the comments. Have they affected you? Honestly, has there been points where you felt hurt or angry about them?
I've got to be honest with you, not at all.
No. Okay. Wow.
Not at all. It's when I first started, it was a bit of a shock when I used to see these comments.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the comments are very predictable. Every day, I'll get comments saying, "Why can't you speak English? Subtitles are required. What language is this?" Sometimes I do reply Scottish.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't help but reply. But no, generally, the people who leave the abusive comments, I'm never going to meet them, right? And if I do, I doubt they'll even say anything, right? So I think to do YouTube, you have to almost switch off from the comments. Because I think if you actually took all the comments to heart all the time, you would start to really sit there and think about things. Geez, you know what I mean? So no, I say to anybody, because I meet loads of people obviously starting out YouTube, and I basically just say to them, listen, it says, you're going to expect the comments, because I know some people, I've spoke to people who've been affected by the comments. Oh, I hate the comments. Some people don't look doing lives, because lives you can't really control comments as well. So it just is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for me overall, I got a lot better with them, but certain things can trigger me. I'm not going to say what they are, because at the end of the day, then someone was going to put a comment on this video with that very thing. But I myself and Lee actually talked about one of the things we said was like, one of the things I was saying to him was like, I heard, I think it was on Joe Rogan, I can't remember what the podcast was, and they were talking about the fact that most of the comments, as you said, 99% are positive comments.
Yeah.
And you'll see them, but you won't pay particular attention to them. So this one person, he said, that was it. This one person was putting positive comments all the time, got fed up and not being replied to.
Oh.
So then decided I'm going to put a negative comment. And then they got the attention that they wanted.
Yeah.
So it's like some people just crave the attention. So they're not going to get an attention with like a positive comment. So they want to put an even nasty comment. So they're seeking some sort of level of attention. And that could be one of the reasons. And it's also just like people like to be nasty, and it gives them some sort of power in some way in their head.
Yeah.
They're sitting there, and you're doing something that they're not.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on really, and people's like, I get that comment a lot as well. It's like, why can't you get a proper job? And then somebody, actually, I've done a video with another YouTuber, and they left a comment on his channel, and they actually says, I hate that Kevin guy, he goes on too many holidays.
Happens to be my job, so but that's the funny thing. It's like, as well with Lee, I've seen people go on and say, you're leaving your family and you're just going off and enjoying yourself. Let's make something clear. I said it to you there before we started this chat on this, is that you don't, and you said as well about a pilot, you don't say someone's going out on an oil rig, hey, you're leaving your family for 3 months to work in an oil rig to make money so that you can live. It's the same thing. If you're a pilot, you have to fly a plane, you go away, you might go away and stay in another country. This is Lee's job, it's your job. Obviously it's not my job. My job is businesses. But when that's your job, that's part of it. You have to fly away, and do that. And Lee goes there and he smashes out the videos, you smash out the videos, comes home. And I know Lee is there with his family. I know his background. I know I talk to him regularly. I know how much he loves his kids, how much he loves spending time with them, and this is his business. He has to make money. It's how he generates income, and that's part of it. It's not like he's, there's enjoyment in it, but it's also his job. It's your job as well.
Yeah, there is a certain, there's enjoyment in it. Like on Tenerife, it's freezing in Scotland, it's 29 degrees or something here today. So there is that sort of enjoyment, but at the end of the day, it is a job. So it's not just a holiday. You can mix it sort of. I've got a couple of friends over just now, so you'll at night maybe go out for a meal with a few beers, but I wouldn't normally be doing that too much on my own, do you know what I mean? I'd maybe be doing more videos at night and stuff like that, so there won't be many night videos on this trip. Most of them have been done.
And if they are, it's going to be wild ones.
That's it. So as you say, we had a wee chat earlier on, and you occasionally meet people like, how do you get away with going on all these holidays with your family and all that? And I'm like, well, nobody says to the pilot's wife, or could be husband, I suppose.
There we go, we lost that camera. The battery's dead. And if it all records and the audio and everything, I guess.
Just a case of really testing things. You get used to it, wouldn't you? I would have no idea how to do all this.
Yeah.
No question.
Neither do I. I'm just trying.
You're just trying. That's it.
But the work, the thing is, people don't realise the work as well. I said to Lee as well, is like, and Lee's like puts serious work into his videos. You know what I mean? You see the amount of editing that he puts in the cuts and the shots, and he's very like basically both of you are walking TV channels.
Yeah.
That don't have a producer, don't have a director, don't have an editor, don't have a camera crew, don't have anything like that. You're all that in one, and you're putting videos out and people are watching them. It's a lot of work, like, and there's a lot involved in it. Obviously, you said to me you've a family back home.
Yeah.
Do they like watching your videos?
They watch no videos whatsoever. Occasionally, very occasionally, my wife will watch a video. If I'm away, only when I'm away, but never. We don't sit in the house and watch them like that. I don't watch any of my videos back unless I think there's an error on the video.
Yeah.
If I've done something, I think, I said something there. I don't know if that was right. I've maybe made a mistake with the name of a hotel or a restaurant.
Yeah.
So generally, I don't watch any of them back. No, my daughters are like Nicole and Chloe, so they're like 27, 23, so they're growing up.
Jeez, I didn't think, like, I won't ask your age. You look young.
Yeah.
Too young to have kids that age.
I wish I was 50, Daniel.
Wow.
50, yeah.
You don't look 50.
So, cheers.
It could be just the way you act.
it could be.
Same as myself.
Yeah.
Big sheet of heart.
So it's they don't watch any of the videos whatsoever. I generally, but on my channel, I would say probably 80% of the viewers will be over 50.
Right.
And maybe even 70% could be over 65.
Right, okay.
That's how high the demographics are.
And do you find that when you go, do you ever find that when you go away, say with the kids and the wife, do you get anyone come up to you? How do they find that? Do they find that strange?
In Scotland they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do they find that strange?
They just find it hilarious.
Yeah.
They're just like, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I had somebody in a couple of months ago, somebody came in to, I needed some painting done in the house.
Yeah.
Somebody came in and instantly when I said hello to them, they're like, "Do I know you?" Like, they recognised the voice. It wasn't actually the face, it was the voice. There were a few people saying that, they recognised the voice. And then they're like, "Yeah, we watch the wait to tell us, I've got a video coming up, right?
Yeah.
Video coming up on the channel. It might be out tonight actually."
Well, if you don't know the channel, which I'm sure you do, just in case, Scotsman in Tenerife, make sure you subscribe to it. Like.
Yeah, cheers. I met Gordon, a viewer who's from Paisley but lives in Dublin now.
Yeah.
And he took me around Dublin when I was doing those videos today. So he was in Tenerife a couple of months ago, and he met Jerry Butler.
Oh, the actor, from Galway. What's the name of that? P.S. I Love You, isn't it?
Yeah,
That was the movie. Yeah.
It was Jennifer Aniston and stuff.
That was huge.
Yeah.
But that movie was huge. Like I when I was single and living in Lanzarote, I used to get up and murder that song and having an Irish accent. It used to work well with the ladies. You know what I mean?
What we all like.
So how if you're watching it, obviously that was the past.
That's the past. So he met Jerry Butler and he said hello to me. I think he met him in the Safari Centre.
Yeah.
He was with his mates golfing, but he'd actually been filming in Tenerife. He'd done a film in Tenerife. So I think he came back. Anyway, the first thing Jerry Butler says to him when he said hello, he went, "Oh, another Scotsman in Tenerife."
Yeah.
And he says he thinks that Jerry Butler must have watched one of the videos.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Because maybe he was going over with his mates golfing and he was thinking where he stays. I don't know. I mean,
that's cool, isn't it?
So I've got a video coming up talking about that. So I'm wanting a comment off Jerry Butler, definitely. He has to comment on it.
Jared's not going to be watching it.
Yeah. So you just never know, don't you? But yeah,
you don't know who's watching it. You don't know what comes up on the who does. Like I think that Lee had who was it? Watched his channel. I'm trying to think of the name. A famous snooker player.
Oh, right, famous snooker player.
His daughter watches sometimes my channel and Lee's channel, and possibly your channel as well. Right. I don't know.
Alex Higgins.
Yeah. His daughter, and she's come and booked excursions in my shop.
Yeah. Oh, I think I heard you talk about it.
Shelley Higgins. Yeah. Is her name? Yeah, Shelley. Shelley, if you're watching, thanks for following. And she does sometimes comment on the channels, and she came in and booked excursions with us as well.
Oh, nice.
Lovely lady, yeah, really, really nice. So that was interesting that that's someone well known.
Yeah, you never know, because I suppose everybody goes on holiday and you're looking for information at any level, really, aren't you? You're still looking for information. So it was quite interesting when you told me that. So we'll see how that video does, because I've got my title ready for it. It'll be something similar to Gerard Butler shocked me in Tenerife.
Yeah.
Something similar like that, you know what I mean? So it's quite interesting. You never know who's watching, but when I'm in Scotland now, I meet loads of viewers, so out and about, even shopping centres and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
I'm not, I remember the first time it happened to me, and I was great at the start, and then I started really struggling with it. I think it was around when my mother passed away, like it was very hard. People coming up and talking to you. I was in a dark space, like, and that's actually probably one of the reasons I pulled away from YouTube a lot. Was getting that. I was on the flights coming back and people coming up and talking to me, and I was just really struggling with processing my mother being sick firstly, and then obviously her passing away. And you know, it was something I really struggled with in my life. Like, it's probably one of the hardest things I went through was the loss of my mum, and people coming up and talking to me and stuff, and I just, in the back of my head, I was being polite, but in the back of my head I just wanted to get away. Like, I just didn't want to be talking to people. Like, I even struggled with talking to my mates, let alone people I didn't know. And that's kind of one of the reasons I pulled away. But at the start, it's good fun. I did enjoy it for a while, and it is enjoyable. But sometimes it's a strange experience, especially when someone comes up and starts telling you about your life, and you don't know. You don't even. Their face is not familiar. You know, because normally someone comes up to you before YouTube.
I know.
That you know them. Their face is familiar. They're familiar with you, but they're familiar with you, but you're not familiar with them.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's an eerie situation to kind of get to grip with when it happens. And then, and it happened in different places. And for me, in the end, I kind of enjoyed. I didn't probably put myself back in front of the camera again, but I kind of enjoyed the anonymity of people not knowing me. And it was great having Matty, because everyone knows Matty.
You
go around with Matty.
He's a sensation in TikTok, isn't he? How many followers have you got on TikTok now?
I don't know. I'll tell you, it's quite a lot. Let's have a look. TikTok. On Chillbox we've nearly 40,000, and on Tenerife First Excursions we have 193,500.
Wow.
Yeah,
a lot. And you're building up the YouTube for Tenerife First Excursions. You started doing that as well.
Myself and Colin, if you're watching, myself and Colin have a bit of a bet on. I told him, I think it was, he'll remind me, it was €2,000 or €3,000 I was going to give him if he could get it to 50,000 subscribers. Like,
wow. How many are you at just now?
No, I don't know, so don't help him.
Who's the bet?
I mean, it's a win-win situation for me in the sense that, like, if they follow, it's Tenerife First Excursions channel, but part of me is like, don't follow, because then I'm gonna have to pay him two or three grand. Like, so yeah, we have a bit of a bet on go. But Colin's a great guy. Colin actually designed the Tenerife First Excursions logo when I started the business, and like, we were never, his desk is behind the camera here.
Yeah, I met him before last time.
Yeah, really nice guy. Like, and he's become he owns half of Chillbox, so with me and my business partners on that, and then he's heavily involved in the social media for Tenerife First Excursions, and he kind of, because if you look back at Matty when he started on, if you see him in the YouTube videos, he was in the background very shy, and Colin's built this character, and Matty's took it on board, and now
his wee logo at the end.
I absolutely love it.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
We actually have absolutely love a cup over there. We're bringing a brand out. Actually, we've all those jumpers over there.
Interesting.
And we're going to be bringing out. You'll be able to buy them online. We've got a supplier in the UK that will ship them to you within 7 days in the UK. So it's going to be Chillbox ones. So a lot of people wanted the Chillbox hoodies, and they were trying to get us to hold them for you. And it's just a lot of logistics, and then we're trying to serve them drinks. And the summer was very busy, so we said, right, we'll just do it so they can buy it in the UK and it comes to their home.
Right.
You know, it's easier that way. So we're bringing a whole load of brand out, which is just going to be interesting as well.
Another wee business.
Yeah. You know, so we're always thinking, we've got some other ideas. Hopefully this summer we're going to be launching. We're planning to launch Chillbox in Gran Canaria. So if you live in Gran Canaria, we do plan to.
Have you got the location sorted? Is it a secret?
It is a secret because we're in negotiations at the moment with the location. So I'm hoping we get it, whether we buy it or if the deal falls through on the purchase, then we might have to rent somewhere. So at the moment we're working on it, and I really hope that we get it, because I just think that it will do really well in Gran Canaria. I mean, the area that I want is Maspalomas. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's full of the kind of, you know, people that we sell to here as well. Like, you know, so. And then Lanzarote, we're looking to open 5 altogether. 5? And then a franchise. You know.
So, Lanzarote I know quite well because I've done a lot of videos on it.
Yeah.
Business resort with Porto do Carmo.
Yeah, I lived there for 2 years.
I remember you used to live there, Gran Canaria and Millinares is a very nice area, quite small.
Yeah, I love it. I stayed there in the front twice in the Faro Hotel.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. If you're
Down the
adults
lighthouse.
only, adults only there, and it's just so chilled. We loved it there. So but it's not exactly the clientele we're looking for with Chillbox.
Yeah.
I think younger generation
Yeah,
are all
definitely.
in the evenings are all on that Mas Palomas walkway.
Yeah.
You know, from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing available to rent. There's one place there to buy, and we're in negotiations
Right.
at the moment.
So wait and see.
Let's see what happens. Like, so yeah, I'd like to get you back on here again, in maybe 6 months or a year.
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
See where your channel's gone at that stage. What you've been up to.
Hopefully, always be coming back to Tenerife. Only come here in the winter now. I don't come in the summer at all. Really, between April, May, end October, I go other places because the weather's pretty good everywhere in Europe. I've tried to avoid colder places. I've not been many places. Amsterdam's freezing actually. I've done videos in Amsterdam. It's freezing at night. Couldn't believe how cold it was at night. It was like -1.
Oh.
And that was in April.
Wow.
Yeah, but they're hardcore, but they're all sitting outside in cafes and all that, -1. Couldn't care less.
I want to do some Eastern Europe stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd love to go. I'd love to travel there. My goal would be to try and get a camper van and do like a vlogging a journey along the way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And interview people like this along the journey, and a bit of discovery and learning about different places and stuff. What's your plan to go with the channel now? We'll wrap up on this question. Where do you see it going?
I'm going to try a couple of new destinations. Hopefully, providing I can get away. This all depends on stuff back home and stuff like that. But if I can get away, I might be trying a couple of longer haul destinations, which are quite risky for me in the channel because I don't necessarily think they'll do much better. But really, when we come to April, May, I'll go back to the places that are kind of proven. I know that get reasonable views. I'll go to Portugal, the Algarve. I'll go back maybe to the Costa del Sol, southern Spain as well. I'm going to try some new Greek islands. Been to Corfu, been to Kos, been to Rhodes. I'm going to go somewhere else in Turkey. The Turkey videos actually done okay. Yeah, I maybe say Lee actually because he's about everywhere. He'd probably do really well in Turkey, I think. They've done better than expected. So some places surprise you. So it's trying to get a mix of places where you'll get.
Can you give away the long haul places, or is that under wraps?
Well, I was looking at Thailand, and Vietnam.
Should hook up with Geoff Carter over there.
Yeah, he does.
Geoff's over there.
He does
great guy, really nice.
Yeah,
fella,
nice guy. I know
really
he's been over
nice.
here. He's friends with Lee. And he's met you as well. So I've got a friend who might be going to Vietnam for a couple of months. So possibly do that. It just all depends because most of my trips are pretty short. The maximum 5 to 7 days. So if I was doing longer haul,
I need to be at least 2 weeks.
I'd maybe do a bit longer.
Can't believe you're leaving your family like that.
I know, it's shocking. So hang your head and say they'll be booking the tickets for me. Like, go, Kevin. Like, just go. So I think that's the plan. I mean, America, I've done Vegas, done pretty poorly. I possibly will do New York. As well, but I'll wait till the weather gets better.
If I think back to Lee though, when now it could be wrong, Lee might tell me differently. When he started doing the American videos, they weren't a success straight away.
Yeah, you said that, I remember that time.
Yeah, I think it took time, and if you look, I don't know, I don't watch really Andrew's channel, but I assume he's building his Florida thing. You know what I mean? And I suppose it takes time for that to grow. So maybe a few trips to Vegas might build you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know because maybe the people watch those videos might get recommended. The videos because it's interesting when you speak to people. Some people didn't even know I was in Vegas because YouTube have recommended the first video. They've not clicked on it. Vast majority have not clicked on it. So then YouTube just kill those videos. They don't show them to certain people. So that's quite interesting for me to see. And like if I do videos in Scotland, I generally lose subscribers rather than gain. I actually lose subscribers in Scotland. Even the ones that get good views.
That's mad, no?
Can lose subscribers. But at the end of the day, as long as they get views, I don't really care because somebody who's going to unsubscribe because you do a video in Scotland, they're not going to be avid viewers.
I don't like. I've never unsubscribed someone unless they're really annoying me. Unless they're like constantly putting stupid videos up, and I'm going, this person is an absolute fool. Then I'm not unsubscribing. So I don't understand unsubscribing. I wouldn't even be bored doing it. You just wouldn't watch the videos. There's going to be a video that comes up at some stage that I enjoy, you know what I mean?
Of course, so you get that. So that's the plans for the channels. I said, every month I'm just trying to get a certain amount of views, really to make the channel viable.
Yeah.
It needs to get about 1 million views a month, roughly, on YouTube. Some months I do better than that. Some months, 2 months here quite recently, but the views are really quite poor. But that's because I was experimenting with different locations.
Yeah.
I went to Croatia. Croatia's nice, but it didn't get any views.
Right,
It was
okay.
nice. So yeah, it's trying to get a balance, a mix between that, and then we'll see what happens. But I've got other plans to do other things out with the YouTube channel, because I've realised all my eggs are in the one basket with YouTube, which gives me the fear. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens.
Well, look, I cannot but wish you the best of luck. I have to say, like, you know, I've met quite a good few YouTubers over the last while and cross paths and stuff like that, and influencers, and you've always come across a very genuine person, and you put a lot of work into your channel, and I have to say, you know, fair play to you, hats off. I've got a hat, but you have a hat, but hats off. And I wish you nothing but more success, and I genuinely am grateful for you always give me publicity, never ask for anything, you know, and I genuinely appreciate it when you come across the thing. And for anyone else slagging him off, he's sound. He's sound.
Well, Daniel, you were one of the first people who shouted out the channel.
Yeah.
Never forget that, do you know what I mean? As I said, obviously there's other excursion companies in Tenerife which I'm sure are pretty good as well, but just because I always started promoting your company and mentioning them, and I actually know quite a lot of staff now, just for chatting to them. They've done so many videos and they know me when I come up. You know, even earlier on at the chill box, the girl knew who I was as well, do you know what I mean? So I kind of feel as if I know your company as well, and I know that you look after people.
100%. I believe that, and I try and express that to the whole team, that you don't know what someone's story is. You don't know, you know, if someone's coming here on holidays, it could be their last holiday with their partners, their first holiday with their kids. You know, they could have taken, you know, they might have taken a loan out just to do this holiday, or they might have saved up all year just to be able to come and spend some time with family. And they're coming to do these excursions, which are literally, they're buying memories that hopefully will last them a lifetime. And make sure that's a good memory. And that's what I believe in all my businesses. Give people a good experience and be kind to them. Treat them the way I would expect to be treated myself. And that's, you know, and that's a lot of my ethos with the business.
And I meet loads of people, loads of viewers, holidaymakers in Tenerife who say that they've been on the excursions. I think they all know you anyway, right?
Yeah.
And they know Matty maybe through TikTok as well. So yeah, as I say, it's just sometimes what loyalty and friendship is more important sometimes than money.
Yeah.
And I think you've just, I'm always aware of the people who shouted me out at the start.
Yeah.
I meet Tim tomorrow as well.
Yeah, Tim's sound,
you know what I
as
mean?
well. Same, like, I remember when I started the channel, the first thing he'd come over with all the equipment, because he managed his equipment, and gave me advice, you know what I mean? He didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? He reached his hand out, like, you know what I mean? And there is people like that in, Lee's the same, and he doesn't get the gratitude from people that he should.
Yeah,
he
100%.
has always, like, you know, I guarantee if you were wherever he is and he says, let's do a video together, he'd say no problem.
Well, we done one in Benidorm. We did a night out in Benidorm. We're still recovering from that night out. I'm joking.
But a gentleman, though. And he'll do anything for a business or a person if he can, you know what I mean? He'll not ask for a red cent for it.
100%. And I think that's one of the great things about YouTube is not just building the channel up, it's the people I've met on the journey. Earlier on, I had a problem, I couldn't get a video uploaded. The schedule tab wasn't doing anything. And I WhatsApped Tim. Tim get back to me in 1 minute, screenshot, click this button and see if it shows it this way. I've done it right away. So it's the relationships, the friendships that you build up over years. And I really enjoy meeting people with new YouTube channels starting their journey, because I remember when I started, you know what I mean, and now I still don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, tech wise, I've just got the phone and the gimbal.
Well, you're doing well for a lad that doesn't know what he's doing.
So it's just, you just need to get videos out, do you know what I mean? So it's been great to be back, and hopefully next time I'm back I'll pop in and see you anyway.
100%. Thanks a million, man.
Cheers, Daniel.
Till next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out Scotsman and Tenerife's channel, Kevin's channel. If you haven't, I'm sure you've already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, if you enjoy the content I'm putting out on this channel, I'm not the mad fella I was before. I'm trying to be myself and just have chats with people and just really do what I feel like I want to do on this channel. It sounds a bit selfish, but it's under my terms and conditions. That's the way I want to do it, you know what I mean? And if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, I completely understand. If you want to unsubscribe. If you want to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, likelihood is I'm not going to read them. If they come up, I might read them, but likelihood I'm not. So it's just what I want to do, and look, take think of it what you want. That's your own call. And nice and guys, talk to you later.